Bro, I always find a way of getting myself roped into some YouTube drama, dude, I swear. Alright, let's clear some shit up. Hello, you boo 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 there. What is going on? This is from BritikHD with another video, and today we are going to be talking about Agorah, which is the game that is being made by James and company over at Blue Jelly Games. Person I interviewed in my most recent video before this one. There's some things going around about this individual and his company and this game and project in general. So I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about my stance in all this, what I recommend you guys do, and just how to handle this whole situation. So first and foremost, I'm gonna link this Mongoose video in the description because this video is really good. This video is really good. I agree with it completely. So definitely go check it out. Mongoose is a good friend of mine. He's like the most genuine person I know, and he has nothing to gain from talking anybody. So just go ahead and watch his video because he is, one of the most honest people I know, and he's just fucking fantastic. So definitely go check out his video right here. I'm gonna link it in the description. Please go watch that like right after you watch this because he makes some good points that I'm not gonna make because I don't want to steal the thunder from him because he did a great job with this. And in the video though, he doesn't necessarily disagree with me, but he kind of questions as to why I gave this person a platform on my channel with this interview. Because when I was telling people that, hey, I'm going to interview this person, they were telling me, like, you got to be careful, man. Like, don't do it. He's a scammer. He just wants attention, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, okay, let's think about it in terms of free market economics here. People vote with their dollar. All right, capitalism, social media, all that good stuff. People like what they like and people don't like what they don't like. I'm going to give him an honest chance. I'm going to give him an unbiased interview on my platform for everyone to see. I'm going to bring this to everyone's attention and I'm going to let them make up their own minds. I'm going to let them make up their own minds. I'm not going to influence. I'm not going to be dramatic with the dude on the interview. I'm not going to do any of that. Okay? Let's just go ahead, just read through some of these comments because I think you guys did fantastic. You guys did a great job here. You guys could see my facial expressions when, watching the video. And some of you were like, oh, this is really happy. This makes me happy. Some of you were like, why the hell? Why the hell are we getting another Paragon remake? But some of these comments, let's see. There's some good comments here, but there's also some concerns, right? What's the budget? Servers, stuff like that. For example, this dude right here, right? Why do I have this feeling he's talking shit? Like I hear him talking all about the stuff, but somehow I can't believe like it's just made up stuff. This dude too, same feeling, right? This dude's just like interesting. He finished college at 17. Yeah, right. Lol, this kid is a liar. Like there's some interesting comments here. Oh god, you gave this scam spotlight. So there is some skepticism for sure, and that's my theme here is just be skeptical. Be skeptical of everything, just in general, like any projects, like even core, predecessor, visionary games, all those guys, like don't give them money until you see real shit, right? Real stuff in front of you. And the theme here is that all of those companies, like none of them actually have asked for money yet. I know, for example, Opolis, the guy over at MetaBuff, the CMO, is very, very passionate and adamant about getting the point across that we don't want to take any money from you guys until we can show you a product, a finished product. And that's really good. That's really good. Sergeant Smokey obviously develops on stream. He already had a closed alpha. There is a product there. He's not making it up. He has a good track record. People are donating to him on stream, and that's going towards server funds. Great. VG, we haven't seen much yet, but obviously they haven't asked for anything. The reason I was reserving judgment about this kid, even though there was a lot of people that were, saying that there's some bad stuff going on around him, is that to me, he wasn't asking for money yet. He wasn't really scamming anybody. But this really hit my radar when he had this early access, kind of like a founder's pass thing, where you pay $10 and then you can play the game like a month earlier. And that just didn't sit well with me. That just didn't really vibe well with me. So I kind of started paying more attention to this guy, and I tuned into his live stream, and then after tuning into his live stream, I checked some earlier live streams, and it doesn't seem to me like he knew what he was doing to the level that like Sergeant Smokey, for example, knows what he's doing. And he keeps saying like I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm learning, but at the same time he said that he was going to have a game out, he was going to have something playable out by July 5th, right? In a month. And to me, it's like, I don't see that physically happening in a month. I just don't get that. And then I talked to some other people like Ruba, who is an excellent person when it comes to that. He's really, really smart. You've probably seen him on Mongooses for the Minions, right? He's lightly associated with Predecessor. He is, I forget the word that he used, but he is like their consultant. There you go. He's their consultant, right? And he just knows a lot about how UE4 works, and he was explaining it to me, like all the intricacies, like how this doesn't work, how that doesn't work, how yada yada, like this just doesn't add up, this just doesn't make sense. And when I was interviewing the guy, I don't know if you noticed in my facial expressions, but I was like really borderline skeptical and confused, like a mix of both of those, because there was a lot of stuff that he was saying, like for example, the part where he had that benefactor, where he had that sponsor, he said he pays his employees, I guess, full time, right? He pays them working wages. And I asked him, like, where do you get the money from? If you're, only 17, you just got out of college, you don't really, even if you do have a job, I feel like that might be not enough. And he said, oh yeah, like we have a sponsor, right? I'm like, okay, so you have a sponsor. From personal experience, I didn't say anything in that interview, but from personal experience, guys, it's really, really, really hard to get sponsors. Like, sponsors are basically investors. Sponsors and investors are two groups of individuals, two groups of people that are really hard to convince to join your side, because they're going to be putting a lot of money into whatever you're doing, and they don't want to waste money and they don't want to waste time. So they're going to be the most skeptical out of anyone. I don't know if you guys ever watched the show Shark Tank, but they are brutal, dude. They're brutal. So in my head, I'm like, why would someone sponsor a 17-year-old kid with 6 people on his team claiming that they're going to make a third-person MOBA when they just started recently and they don't have that much to show for? Like, it just didn't connect. The dots didn't connect in my head, and it felt a little fishy. And then I started talking to more and more people, and they were saying, oh yeah, this dude used to work on this game called Avantail, which I actually brought up in my interview. That's the only thing I heard about it, was just the name. But apparently it was like some sort of 2D side-scroller game or something. And the reason I'm sitting here on Reddit in front of you guys, on the Paragon Reddit, is because somebody gave me this link. It was in one of my comments. Somebody gave me this link, and I started going through this feed, and I'm going to post this link in the description below as well. And apparently this just kind of shows a bit more about James, the guy who's making this game right now that we're talking about, and his tendencies, so to speak. I'm not going to sit here and indict anyone. I'm not a judge. I'm not a prosecutor. But what I will say is don't give this dude money until he has shown you, excuse me, something real, until he has shown you something real. Anybody can open up Unreal Engine 4 and plug in the assets and then walk around. Okay, it's not that hard, right? I have Unreal Engine right here. I could, fuck it. Let's open it up right now. Why not? Let's do this right on the fly. Yeah, you can open this up. You can put a character in there. You can walk around as the character in there. You can put backgrounds in there. All right. I don't know anything about Unreal Engine. All right. I don't watch any YouTube videos. I just kind of open it up, click some buttons, played around, managed to open up the voice lines, right, from the Paragon heroes, managed to insert Grux into an instance. It's really bare bones. That doesn't mean that there's going to be a game going out here, right? I think my project too, I don't remember, honestly. I don't remember. This is kind of improv here. But you guys can go down this Reddit list for yourself. And it says like, oh yeah, he when he was claiming that he had the original map, the original Paragon map, he was claiming that he made the map himself, when in reality he ripped it off from this YouTube video. So here is, for example, the map that he made. Okay, like this is the map that he made, right? And then people were saying like, oh yeah, well he just like took it from this YouTube video right here. Where they were making this map, like the Paragon, it's a free download map, and he just took that from there. So I don't know, this is just me, like on surface level. I wasn't here during the initial posting of the thread on Reddit, right? I'm just, and from an outside perspective looking in, this is what I see, and it all just looks fishy to me. It all just looks fishy to me. So definitely be cautious with this dude. But you know, you have your engine in here, and then you can let's see, what do I have here? Content. Okay, Paragon. Let's go Paragon Grux here. Characters, heroes, Grux. Open up the Grux folder. Grux player character. Let's click on that. See, like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing right now. I'm just clicking on shit all in a row. So what I'm saying is, guys, it's really easy to put up a front and make it so that you're showing yourself more knowledgeable than you actually are. It's really easy to BS your way through, especially when you're not showing your face, especially when everything's done over the internet. It's not done in person. Like you just be cautious. Be cautious of this guy for sure. Again, I put him up on my channel with that interview so more people could see what this was all about. So if he was going to expose himself, basically, if he was going to embarrass himself, then it would have been in front of a larger audience so that everybody would know and understand like what kind of person he is here. But I don't know what's going on at this point right now, to be honest. Oh, loading Grex player character. Well, that looks promising. I bet if I watch a couple YouTube videos, I can kind of figure out how to get like a mini game in here running. So, yeah, essentially, if my dumbass could do this, then I'm sure after an hour of fudging around on YouTube, that it won't be too difficult to be able to make a map inside here and then have somebody run around. I don't know. It just all seems fishy to me. Take it on face value as you'd like. I just wanted to clear that up. Definitely read this Reddit article, especially this one. Let me go ahead and read this right now. One of the main devs of this game is called James Colbeck. He's a kid I used to know from school from year 7 up to year 11, 7th grade to 11th grade. During this time, there were countless situations involving James that consisted of him being a manipulative liar. I had a personal experience of this where he pretended to be my friend for nearly 3 years until I eventually found out he had been talking shit about me behind my back. This doesn't really say much because this could be anybody. This is high school. Like, everybody was like this in high school. At this point, there were arguments between me and him over YouTube where he would throw offensive comments towards Polish people. I'm Polish. Interesting. Sometime during 11th grade, he had a girlfriend who I won't even name here. In live streams on his YouTube channel where he played Fortnite, you could see various times where he shouted and was just generally a horrible person to his girlfriend. Well, that's just being a dick. There was even one time where he held a charity live stream, which is great, except the funds were going directly to him and not to charity, which I'm not sure is even legal. Yeah, that is definitely illegal. So that's shady as fuck. And then he had a situation in 7th grade where he threatened he would stab a teacher with a pocket knife after she punished him for not doing homework. Clear signs of a psychopath. Well, honestly, edgy 7th graders say that shit all the time. I was pretty edgy when I was in 7th grade as well. But still, I didn't really say that to the teacher's face. So also kind of weird. And then when he finished his 11th grade in high school, he went to a college around my area, which accepts students with literally no GCSEs, which means you failed every subject. So it's not a very good college. Then I didn't hear from him for a while until he joined some Fortnite team called Team Solicity. He claimed he was sponsored by Dr. Pepper and gaining lots of money for this, which he wasn't. He just one day dropped out of his team. So consistent lying here. I'm not a psychologist, but this doesn't look like a good sign, at least if this person is telling the truth. This feels kind of, I don't know if you're able to fabricate this. He just one day dropped out of his team, and then he came up with this trash Aventail, which originally was a ripoff of Stardew Valley. He only had a character moving on screen with nothing else in the game, and was teasing it like it was an almost ready-to-buy game. Then one day, Aventail was suddenly this Paragon remake. I've never played the game myself, but it's clear just looking at his streams that the game is barely in a pre-alpha stage, and he simply ripped assets from somewhere else. In his Discord, he claimed ridiculous things like renting 2 mansions as his office for his company, which is just a group of his friends. When my friend asked how he affords these mansions, he said, "My dad is a CEO of Canary Wharf," which, if you don't know, is a large area of England. So being a CEO of that would make you very rich. If you search up the CEO, it's clearly not his dad. Then he wasn't going to release the gameplay trailer on time, so his friend posted a message which started with, "Hey guys," which explained how one of their devs called David had passed away. It's a clear lie that he made, so he doesn't need to release the trailer on time, but the fact he would just make up a fake death is ridiculous. It's been like a week and he hasn't mentioned that person once since. When under fire, he deleted his Discord server and made a new one and also changed his brand name to Agorah. He's just continuing to be the same deceptive liar he was when I knew him in school. Don't trust anything he makes. It's all a scam. So that's a pretty damning claim. Like that's pretty crazy. And there's a lot in there, so it makes it hard to believe that this person would just go out of their way to make all this shit up. So this, I mean, take it as you will, guys. This is pretty crazy. Like I said, let's wait till July 5th because then it'll be like, you know, case in point. If nothing goes right, July 5th, and if, you know, he postpones something again, or if it like comes out and it's pure garbage, then 100% like it's gonna be completely just out there, just completely transparent. Like everyone's gonna know that he's a fraud and a scammer and all that stuff. But like Mongoose briefly mentioned in his video, I believed that he was just biting off more than he could chew. I was being, you know, skeptical about it, but I was also being fair about it. And I honestly thought it was just, you know, a 17-year-old kid working on his first big project, just biting off more than he can chew. But regardless, just you vote with your wallets and hold on to your wallets for now, because this is just oof. Yeah, like how Mongo said, like red flags all over, just not looking good. Not looking good. So stay safe out there, guys. If he gives me something to post on my channel, I would gladly post it on my channel. I would love to see like something actually real out of this. Like I don't, you know, want to just be here and just shit on a kid because everyone else is shitting on a kid. Like it would be great. It would be great to see what the dude makes, but until then, I'm just going to forewarn my audience here, and as far as this video stretches on the wide plains of the internet, just keep an eye out. I'm still most excited for Predecessor and Core and Ethereal when that comes out too. People have been asking me why have I been so quiet on Ethereal, because Ethereal has been hard at work. That's why, because they're not really giving me much to work with. Everything else has already been said. It's all out on their Discord, so yeah. I know this video has been kind of long, guys, maybe a little all over the place, but I wanted to make sure, I wanted to clarify this all. I just wanted to be absolutely clear that when I made that interview, that does not mean that I am supportive of this individual. And that didn't mean that I was completely against this individual. It just gave the individual a chance to speak, gave him 25 minutes, all right, more or less, depending on the pauses and the questions. Let them say everything for themselves. And a lot of you guys, even in that interview alone, caught on that he sounds fishy, he's lying through his teeth, that, you know, just bunches and bunches of stuff. Just be careful, guys. Just be careful. Don't believe everything you see right away. Always have a bit of skepticism. Skepticism is healthy. Also, a couple other things, again, that, like, he's just not too professional, it seems like. If he's actually trying to make a game and market it commercially, he is not being very professional. Like, he doesn't know how to handle criticism. He bans people in his chat. He swears. He just cusses people out, which I understand. When I was 17 years old, I cussed people out. Fuck, I still cuss people out to this day. I am not a beacon of professionalism, but I'm also not running a company, and I'm also not trying to sell a product besides my face on your screen right now. That's about it. So, yeah. I feel like I'm rambling at this point, so I'm just going to end the video here. Make up your own minds, but I'm with Mongoose on this one. Be careful of Agorah. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. It's always a wonderful day. Peace.